me just put this on. And try again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaban. Welcome to this video, guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time, enjoying yourselves, and able to hear me as well this time properly. Right. So, wa alaikum assalam. Sarah or Zara. Ahlan wa sahlan. Abdullah Afzal. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Volume fixed now, yeah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, so this is another Saturday, guys. On Saturdays we have a live stream where I basically try to answer some of your questions and see how I can help you guys. And we also have a little chit chat as well sometimes, talk about things. Right, so let's get on with the questions then. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Damyo, ahlan wa sahlan. Long time, my brother. Long time. Haven't seen you on here. All right, so let's. Alaikum assalam. Zed, ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, Irfan. Wa alaikum assalam. Irfan, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Right, let's see some curious cat questions then. Can someone take back an oath they made to Allah? What happens if someone was emotional state? What is exactly the oath? What did they say? Wa alaikum assalam. Qamar Initiative. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaban. Welcome. So the oath, it all depends upon what was said. What was exactly said in the oath. All right. Let's check this out then. So, curious. Okay, will kids and babies who died early be raised and admitted into Jannah at the age they die? Allah knows best. So Imam Hanifa Rahman would say it's best not to answer these questions because we do not know the answer. We do not have enough information given to us to be able to answer these questions. Yeah, we don't know. Siraj, as for Muslim babies, then yes, Muslim children will be, entered into Jannah. We don't know exactly what state they'll be in. Non-Muslims, again, we stay silent. Allah is the one. So there's a lot of things about the hereafter we haven't been told. Now we can't just make stuff up. We can't just say, oh, I think it's like this or I think it's like that. We got to be careful in those kind of things. Siraj, is standing and urinating permissible? I heard some scholars say it's allowed as long as there are no drops. Yes. So according to Hanafis, it's considered to be permissible, but it's better not to do. There were some Sahaba who actually were known for standing up and urinating, like Umar radiallahu anhu and Ali radiallahu anhu. And on several occasions, the Prophet ﷺ himself as well is reported to have done it as well. The person said, I swear to Allah, I will never buy from this shop again, but they bought from it again. What they're buying is not haram, by the way. Yeah, so that means they broke their oath. Yeah, they broke their oath. That's it now. Now after that, they can buy from that shop. So they've broken their oath, so they have to give the compensation of an oath. Yeah, so which is feed 10 poor people or clothe 10 poor people. And if you can't do that, then you fast 3 days. Would Muftis, I've had a question on zakat. If I have lent £10,000 to a relative as qard for 10 years, do I need to pay zakat on it each year? If so, do I pay on 10,000 every year or do I deduct the zakat? Yes, you pay zakat on it every year, but you don't have to pay it now. You can pay it back when you get it at the end and you backdate all the years. So if you get it after 10 years, so each year, £10,000 zakat is going to be 1,020, right? £250. So £250 year one. And then you minus that from the 10,000, so 9,900 and 9,750. Yeah, and so you do 2.5% of that, and like that you deduct and you 2.5%. If you want to find out more, check out my crash course on zakat. Check out my crash course on zakat on my YouTube channel. Would you like to be a guest speaker for the Ramadan episode of the Rawcast? I don't know what happens in there. What kind of discussions go on? Paid already from the total amount. Yes, you can pay it from the total amount. Mashtrak, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, Mashtrak. And pay zakat on the remaining amount. Yeah, so you basically have to pay the amount on the 10,000. How sick was Prophet Ayyub alayhi salam? I don't know. We'll find out on the day of judgment how sick he was. If I fast 3 days for the oath, does it have to be consecutive? Will I still have to sin, even have sin even after? No. So he has to 3 days consecutive. Yes. Al-Fiqh al-Islami wa Dillatuhu. Is it a good book to read discussion on fiqh according to the 4 schools? Yes, it's a good book. Yeah, Sheikh Wahab al-Zuhaili, very good book, very good discussions. Nahid, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yesterday you said, what's the point of learning Arabic alphabet, but doesn't the al-huruf al-muqatta'at require? Yeah, so that's why I said you don't need to learn them to be able to read the Quran, except for those ones which are huruf muqatta'at. That's all. There's only 14 huruf muqatta'at in the Quran. So all 28 of them are not in the Quran. Alhamdulillah wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. You sent a message on WhatsApp, yeah? Okay, I'll have a check later, inshallah. How are you? Alhamdulillah, you well? I get so many messages on my WhatsApp. I have to, I can't check them all the time. I have to check them when I get free time. So this is why a lot of people who contact me, they get a reply after a certain amount of time. So I do apologize. What angle for the beginning of Fajr prayer should go by in Ramadan? Wherever your local mosque is. Whatever your local mosque is, I always say just go by your local mosque. Be safe. Jazakallah khair. I pray Allah bless you. Ameen. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Abdullah, may Allah bless you as well. Thank you for your kind du'as. How do I be cool like you? How do I be cool like you? I don't know. Am I cool? Am I not cool? Open a YouTube channel. Make Arabic videos. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Musab, is wearing an imamah considered a sunnah or something which was... So when you say sunnah, do you mean, is it something that the Prophet ﷺ encouraged Muslims to do? Is that what you're saying? He encouraged all Muslim men until the Day of Judgment to do. If you're saying that, no, then it's not. But if you're saying it's something which the Prophet ﷺ wore, and it was generally was a custom. Yeah, so, like Abu Lahab wore a imamah, Abu Jahl wore imamah. It was a custom, a piece of attire, clothing that was worn at that time. If a person wears an imamah out of love for the Prophet ﷺ because he wore it and they have so much love for him and they want to imitate him in that, then that's noble. It's a very noble act. Is it disliked to fast on Fridays and Saturdays? There's an ikhtilaf amongst the scholars about this. Yeah, the difference of opinions amongst scholars. Some scholars say there is, some scholars say there isn't, based upon varying hadith. How accepted are the prayers of a mother? Very accepted. With this up, can you come visit Edmonton, Alberta, Canada to give some nasiha? Inshallah. If you guys sort out the ticket and sort out the hotels and sort out all the food, I will come, inshallah. With this up, I'm looking to buy Mirqat al-Mafati. What's the best edition? I'm not too familiar with the best editions at the moment. Best to ask someone who deals in books. Right. So like, for example, if you look at Maktaba Ismail bookstore, contact them, or Zakaria bookstore, or Azhar bookstore, Azhar Academy. Ask them, because I'm not into publications and investigating. That takes a long time as well. But there are people out there who are into this kind of thing, and they know the new publications that have come out and the errors in some of them. Unfortunately, I'm not too clued up about that. What's your opinion? Mashood, you tell me what is Sufism. If you tell me what your understanding of Sufism is and you break it down for me, then I'll be able to help you, because there's lots of meanings of Sufism and I don't have time to go into all of them. If you can tell me what's, inshallah, I will sort out all the tickets and hotels and the food, inshallah. Then yeah, guys, get ready, guys. Canada visit for a Canadian tour. As a way to console someone, it is common to use the saying, everything that happens is for the best. Is this correct statement? Not necessarily. This isn't an Islamic statement. Yeah, this isn't an Islamic, everything happens for the best. No, this isn't an Islamic statement, because obviously if someone gets killed if someone is raped, if someone, you don't say this for the best. This is not right. What we say is everything happens with the permission of Allah, meaning nothing happens without Allah's power, permission. Meaning, even bad things that happen, no one can do it without, like, no one can force something to happen without Allah's will. It doesn't mean Allah's happy with it. It doesn't mean that Allah gives permission to something and everything He gives permission to is happy with. No, there's a difference between the two. I meant Sunnah as in part of Islam and something that will be rewarded. So why do Maulanas wear it, especially in Jumas? I think it's there's something which is like cultural clothing. A lot of people like Maulanas to be seen in cultural clothing. It's just like a lot. I know a lot of people, they would rather prefer listen to a Maulana who has the attire on than someone who doesn't have the attire on. Right. So that's something which is very cultural based. And likewise, certain types of clothing that are worn in one part of the country, one part of the world, another part of the world. Yeah, so a lot of this is to do with the social sort of development of these things. Okay. Yeah, Allah. Right. Is it sinful to look down upon a sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, like some people mock people who wear turban? Yes, it would be considered to be either sin, or at least it would be considered something that is very, very, very wrong for a person to look down upon. Something which is considered like the Prophet ﷺ did, not just in general. Like Sikhs wear turbans, and there's other Hindus wear turbans as well, right? And likewise, these kind of things. So it all depends upon when it's something which the Prophet ﷺ did and people belittle that particular thing exactly how he did it, then that's wrong. But if someone, for example, like has a massive beard, like a non-Muslim atheist has a beard, and it looks all dirty, and someone mocks that beard, that won't be sinful. What will be sinful is what the Prophet ﷺ did, and a person belittles that particular thing the way he did it. Have you seen Maulana Hashim's new book, First Step to Serve? No, I haven't seen it. Has it come out? What's the ruling for Shias? Are they Muslims? Can Sunni pray behind them? So it all depends exactly what the Shia believes. So just like if the Sunni believes something which is contrary to Islam, then you can't. And if a Shia believes something contrary to Islam, then you can't. So there are some Shias who have very bad beliefs, then you shouldn't pray behind them. And there are lots who don't have bad beliefs. I've heard Shaykh Yasir Qadi say that Ya'juj Ma'juj are most likely not alive at the moment, but they will arise. I don't know. Wallahu alam. Maybe ask him, Brother Siraj. We don't have any. See, the thing is, the Prophet ﷺ and the Quran have told us about Ya'juj Ma'juj. After they told us, we have no idea of how they're going to appear. Have they already appeared? Are they the Caucasians and the Mongols and the Chinese? Are they the offspring, the progeny of Ya'juj Ma'juj? Like some say, Sheikh Anwar Shah Kashmiri says that. Or are still to come? Or there's lots of opinions about the application of this. So we know what a hadith says, but sometimes we don't know the application of a hadith. Right, look this up. What type of cha are you drinking? This tea is apple tea. Apple tea. Why is the concept of wala and bara only brought up in Salafi circles? Because Salafis are the only ones that talk about this. Yeah. Because I think Salafis have their own approach in how they look at things. They don't generally go according to the majority of the Muslim schools. You're welcome. I see. I understand Sufism to be an Islamic practice of divine love and knowledge basis. That's if that's the explanation you're giving me, then that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if it's a person who is doing dhikr, if it's a person who is trying to attain closeness to Allah, then excellent. That meaning of Sufism is fine. What is that? You look exhausted. Are you going okay? Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Thank you very much. Very well. Yeah, if I look exhausted, then I don't know why, but I'm feeling very good. Brother, can you show us what's the proper way to keep hands on the belly during Salah? Los Angeles, California. Yeah. So according to Hanafis, it's like this basically. Yeah. So basically, So this is my belly. Yeah, so it's based like this. That's it. Now some Hanafi say like this, some Hanafi say like this, and some Hanafi say like this. So there's actually three ways in the Hanafis: hand on hand, gripping the arm, or like that. Are Salafis within Ahl Sunnah? It depends what is meant by Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Yeah, it depends what is meant by Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. But generally, Salafis should be, as long as they don't have any corrupt beliefs. This is the link for the book First Steps. Sorry, the link doesn't come up. You're gonna have to email it. If you can email it, then I can check it. Are the people who give talks in Green Lane Mosque trustworthy? I don't know. I mean, some of them are my friends who've given talks there, but I don't know who exactly gives the talks there, so I wouldn't be able to say. Assalamu alaikum, NK. Is it sinful to stop speaking to a Muslim friend who has done wrong and continue not until they've done right? Possibly. It depends exactly what kind of wrong they've done. Yeah, but yeah, possibly, potentially. Assalamu alaikum, Irfan. If the body of filth is wiped away using sterile wipes to clean away blood, and if water goes over the area, is the water considered filthy? If it's been wiped away, it's clean. So if it's clean, then water going over it wouldn't have any impact on it. Yeah, so according to Hanafis, if you use sterile wipes to clean away impurity off your skin, it's cleaner. So if you put water on there, that water is clean as well. Jazakallah khair, brother. May Allah accept all of our prayer. Ameen, ameen. Jazakallah khair. Anis from Los Angeles. I don't know the Los Angeles accent, so I don't want to attempt, trying to do saying something a bit dodgy. All right. Okay, let's check out some questions on Curious Cat then. Okay, Salams, is it permissible to have feet facing Qibla when lying down reclining? It's best to avoid this. It's best to avoid this. Try to move your feet slightly away from the Qibla, if you can possibly can. There is difference of opinion amongst the scholars about this issue. The scholars are not in agreement about it being impermissible. Same goes for like going to the toilet. There's a difference of opinion amongst the scholars about going to the toilet facing the Qibla, putting your back towards the Qibla. So I would say you should try your best to avoid it if you can. If you can't avoid it, then it wouldn't be considered to be severely sinful. Ustad, if someone wanted you to interpret a dream, how can they contact you? I don't interpret dreams. Yeah, I don't interpret dreams. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I just do my own dreams. The thing is, in interpreting dreams, it requires knowledge, lots of knowledge about someone, like intimate knowledge about them, to know them very well, and then you can interpret the dream properly. Does a person have to save up and pay for their own Hajj? No, they don't. So no, they don't. Someone else can pay for them. Someone else can pay for them. Salam, is Salatul Jumu'ah considered as fard or wajib? Wassalam, fard. Salatul Jumu'ah is considered to be a fard salat. Is it permissible to sell kittens for my cat? Wassalam. Yes, according to Hanafis, you can sell cats, you can sell kittens. Which tafsir do you recommend to go over completely? Wassalam. I would say tafsir tafsir Nasafi or Jalalain or Abu Saud. These are the good tafsirs, some good, nice tafsirs. Okay, let's check some questions here. Right. Mufti, how does one become a Mufti? You have to study a lot. Yeah, you have to study a lot. You got to do, it would take you, I mean, I'm not a Mufti, by the way, guys. I am in the process of becoming a Mufti. It would take you about 25, 30, 40 years, I would say, to become a proper Mufti. Jabbar Yaqub alaikum assalam. How do a full-time alim program whilst working full-time? Good question. I have no idea. I know some people who are trying to do it, but the thing is, a lot of people who do full-time jobs and they do alimiya courses, they drop out after the first 3 or 4 months because it just becomes too much for them. The only people that can carry on is people who have self-income generating jobs. So like they've got houses on rent, or they've got businesses that are running themselves and they don't need to manage it too much. Those are the people who can. Otherwise, I wouldn't advise doing full-time and full-time alimiya program. I've hardly seen anyone that can keep up the two. There's only like one guy I know, right? And he's actually in his 3rd year, and he's mashallah is kind of doing very well. But it usually has an impact on your other parts of your life. What's your job? I'm a teacher. I pray namaz. I'm at home. How do I encourage myself to go to the mosque? Good question. All I would say is, look, read the virtues of going to the masjid. The Prophet ﷺ prayed all his fard salats in the masjid. The Sahaba used to go to the masjid. The masjid is the place the Quran mentions in the Quran. Allah mentions in the Quran as well. It's a place for the believers, designed for the believers. So if we're not going to go to the masjid, then we're missing out on all that blessing, all that barakah of getting full maximum reward of our prayers in the masjid. Please do ways improve vocabulary, Arabic words, jazakallah khair expression. So check out my videos, Brother Mashood. If you check out my videos, I've made lots of videos on vocab. I cut my finger badly, so would that wiped area need to be washed to consider it to be purified? No, wiping is fine. Yeah, wiping it with a wet cloth, with a wet wipe is fine. If you haven't wiped it, the size of a dirham you take into consideration. Musa, is it permissible to partake in a game development and animation? As long as the game is something which is doesn't have anything contradictory to Islam, teaching contradictory to Islam, and like gambling or anything like that, then it should be fine. What is the punishment for a murderer according to Sharia? So the punishment for a murderer, there's different types of murder. Yeah, and I don't have time, but if you go to my uruk.com, I actually got a series, Kuduri series, on my uruk.com. You got to pay for that one though. And in the chapter of jinayat, which is basically crimes, criminal penalties, I've mentioned in there. Murder is up to the victim's family. So the victim's family can either take your life, or they can forgive you and take blood money, or totally forgive you. Three things. There's no imprisonment. Can a person be a Hanafi while accepting the zahir meaning of an attribute to Allah while doing tafweed and kayfiyah? Possibly, yes. Why not? How about full-time university with alamiya? Yeah, it wouldn't be possible again, because it just depends on what course you're doing, and I wouldn't advise it. Talk about depression that Muslims youth are facing in this age of confusion and chaos. Yeah, good point. I mean, I'm not an expert on this, so I wouldn't be able to talk about depression, but maybe Muhammad Azhar, maybe if you're an expert on this, or you can ask a psychologist, psychiatrist, or doctor speak about it. Yeah, definitely. So it's a very important topic. Sharif Will, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. How are you? How's things? How's New Jersey? Wa alaikum assalam. Mullah, mashallah, guys. This week I had a talk at Mullah's University, Aston University, and I met Mullah for the first time in real life. So, first time in real life, I have met Mullah, mashallah, very nice guy. Yeah, and you guys are unfortunate to have not met Mullah. Yeah, so if you guys haven't met Mullah, then what can I say? What can I say to you guys? You guys have lost out on another. By the way, if anyone is watching this on Twitter, you are not going to be able to answer in the chats, okay? Because they've closed that feature for some reason. I don't know. Wa alaikum assalam, inshara, ahlan wa sahlan, pray you are well. What is the value of reciting Qur'an without understanding? Some may be trying for years. Alhamdulillah, it is the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever recites one letter of the Qur'an gets 10 rewards. Imagine that. One letter, 10. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alif, 1. Lam, 1. Ha, 1. Mim, 1. Dal, 1. Just in Alhamdu, you get 50 rewards for reading Alhamdu. And then Lillahi Rabbil Alameen. There is immense, and there's so much barakah and there's blessing that comes to your life by reading the Quran. There's lots and lots of blessings just by reading the Quran. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, and if you read it with understanding, then there's like lots of more barakah, like in a different way, barakah in understanding and tadabbur, in thinking about it. Okay, apart from Abu Talib, will the hellfire for non-believers also have levels for them according to how bad they were in the earth? Yes. The hellfire is like a world in itself. It's not just like a pit. That's it. It's like a world in itself. So many different levels and different places. How is Azhar University for learning Islam? I hear very strange fatwas. I have no idea. I have not studied there. Many of my teachers have studied there in Pakistan, but I have no idea of how it is over there. I've got friends that have studied there as well. It seems okay. Can say the same about you. MashaAllah, Mullah. That's the way, bro. Touch, bro. Damn you, alaikum assalam. Do you recommend doing university first or Alimiyah? Well, I would say doing university first is good because it opens you up to understanding ways of studying, critical thinking. So I think it's much more productive for when you do university and then you go, because you learn a lot of skills in university that you probably won't get in your Alimiyah course. Disadvantage, obviously, when you're going to do a university course, you're going to delay the time and then you're going to have to study the madrasa course a bit later on. Are there any preferred careers for? There's lots and lots of things to go into. I mean, I don't have time now to go into them, but we actually had a careers, a few weeks ago, we brought in a scholar who actually talked about careers, the possible careers of ulama, alims and alimas in the future, besides imam and maktab. Right? There are lots and lots of things in the community that they can go into. What's your opinion about Tabligh Jamaat? Do they engage in tahrif, as some say, by the verses of the Quran, jihad? I have no idea. In every group, there's people who will try to, manipulate things and say things that are wrong. Tabligh Jamaat do a lot of good work, mashallah. And if there's people in there who are doing bad things, then just like in there's people who do bad things. In madrasa, there's people who do bad things. In other organizations, there's people who do bad things. May Allah continue bless you. Ameen. Jazakallah khair, Mashood Suleiman. Thank you very much. Love you for the sake of Allah. Kadi, Sadi, Nash. May Allah bless you. Ameen. And I love you for the sake of Allah too, my brother. Irfan, Jazakallah khair. Irfan, ahlan wa sahlan. Guys, if you haven't hit the like button, you know what to do. What is your opinion on so-called madrasa teachers who beat small children? Totally impermissible. I would even say that is haram. Yeah, to hit young children in the way that they hit young children. Yeah, disciplining is one thing, but to beat them, beating, no. I would say it's totally impermissible. In the verse, kuntum khayra ummatin, Tabligh Jamaat say, excuse me, Zara, I think you're saying Tabligh Jamaat says this. You're probably saying a few people in Tabligh Jamaat say this. Yeah, so please quote people correctly. I've actually today I put up a Twitter tweet up today, which was based about this, where people, they misconstrue what other people say. They hear things from other people and they blame it on the whole group, right? So come on, don't do what the Zionists do, yeah, who give communal punishment to just one individual. Do you think it's worth delaying the time of Alimiyah by doing university first? Yes, I think it's worth it. Salam alaikum. Being cool is murhaqa. That may be why you seem to appear exhausted. Yeah, that's true. Being cool is like exhausted. I see my arms are getting bigger, guys. Yeah, I'm doing weights. I've been doing weights. Yeah, just to keep healthy and fit. Could you give just a few examples of some good careers for alims? Okay, so careers that alims go into, they can go into like things like chaplaincy in prisons, chaplaincy in hospitals, chaplaincy in universities. That's one area, and there's different levels of chaplaincy. Then you can become advisors for boards of companies, right? Different types of advisors. You can become advisors in NHS. You can become advisors in companies like Islamic finance companies or even just finance companies. You can become freelance advisors as well. Then you can go into things like teaching as well, as in teaching in schools, lecturing in universities, if you have the qualification that they accept, and you can even like you can do further education as well, and then get qualifications, and then you can go into research, you can go on to writing, you can go into translation courses, you can go on to editing courses. I heard doing it later. I personally think, Siraj, every single madrasa should have necessary in the first year or second year people come in who list for them all the careers options that they have, because a lot of students have no idea. In fact, a lot of people who 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 qualify from madrasas have no idea what madrasa what you can go into, right? Unfortunately, a lot of people who graduate from madrasas, they are kind of like left on their own. They have to go, and that's why most likely I think they end up in just going for the usual imam job, maktab job, because they can't see anything else. I think it's the duty of every madrasa to provide the students with all the options that they have. What do you guys think? I heard doing it later could be detrimental because you have other responsibilities later on in life, like taking care of family. Yeah, again, yeah, it all depends on people as well, person, people. Like, for example, I qualified from madrasa when I was 27, 28 years old. Yeah. So, it just depends on how much you're willing to dedicate. What are some good speakers if I want to get my spiritual back? I don't know. I don't listen to too many speakers. So if anyone knows any good speakers that they would recommend to Damio, then please put it up. I would recommend Arab. I listen to Arabic speakers. Muhammad Hijab is good, but I think his more intellectual discussions he has. Intellectual discussions. Brother Hamza Zotis is good as well. Those are the kind of English ones that I'll probably listen to. Yusuf Azhar, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ayan, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Have you heard about the changes to loans? Does it change the permissibility? No, I haven't heard about them. What do they exactly say? How can zikr who of the tariqah sect be rewarding when who only means he? So I don't know exactly what they say, but if a person was to do, for example, like dhikr of one letter of the Quran, like if a person reads one letter of the Quran, do they get reward for it? Alhamdulillah, if a person says do they get reward? Obviously, yes, if they read it in intention. So this is why they most likely are saying that if a person was to say, like, if you get reward for Allahu, and in the Quran the word who is there as well, La ilaha illa hu, yeah, then maybe there. Is size 2 and scissor cut? Yes, the halal, bro. Ustad, I beg your apology for posting such an absurd question a minute ago about the prevalence of depression among youth. It wasn't me. Told her to recite Ayat Karima and no, I would say, look, if anyone suffering depression, do not tell them just to read Quran, right? That is not the cure for everything. If you break your leg, you don't just read Quran and it gets better. You go to the hospital, isn't it? Obviously, we go back to the Quran when we are spiritually down. But depression is something that requires medical treatment. It requires medical advice, right? So a lot of people, they need to speak to their doctors about these kind of things. They're very serious issues that can lead to something really bad later on. Ameen, Muhammad Asar. Inshallah, you remember us as well. I know someone who goes to a madrasa where even small girls get slapped and children get hit on the face. Really bad thing which needs to be condemned around the globe. Yeah, 100%, definitely. So 100% agree. I am in the same hole as the other students. I was really helpful. Yeah. So I think a lot of madrasa students, they are deprived of a lot of like life skills that they could be taught in the madrasa. Yeah, like when I say life skills, I mean life in the life of a Maulana skills. So I think a lot of these things, and in a Sufa Institute, that's what we're getting into the students. We're training them up for these kind of things. So we bring in like experts from outside who give lectures, like a once a month or something, to teach them about certain aspects of what they're going to go into in real life. And then we even are going to start work schemes as well, placements, where students will have to go for a placement somewhere, work experience for a week or two, so they get the idea of how different kind of things work with different kind of jobs. graduates have. What is the tea? Color looks amazing. This is apple tea from Turkey. This is given to my brother Sufyan from Derby. MashaAllah. Beautiful tea. Lovely. Salam Ustad. Ka'b ibn Malik was punished for not attending Tabuk. He took part in Badr. Are those that attended Badr not given permission to do as they please? So why was he punished? Because it came from Allah. The command came from Allah. Yeah. The command came from. So if the command comes from Allah, like in Surah Tawbah, وَعَلَى الثَّلَاثَةِ الَّذِينَ خُلِّفُوا. So they were خُلِّفُوا. Yeah, they were kept behind for 50 odd days. And this was from Allah. It wasn't from the Prophet ﷺ. Allah told the Prophet ﷺ this. So Allah is the one. If Allah has given a virtue to the people of Badr, and likewise Allah can, put exemptions on that virtue as well. I think it's something to do with the change to interest rates. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm not too sure. I'll have to find out and see what's happening. During Jummah khutbah, after the khatib mentions Rasulullah, can we say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? The Hanafis say you should not speak in the khutbah at all. And if you want to say it, then you say it in your mind. You say it quietly in your mind. How would a person know if he should personally become an alim, if it's the right path for him? It just depends if you're interested in it. Just like, how would you know if you want to become a doctor? How would you know if you want to become an accountant? Right? There's no kind of like mark that appears on your face or your body that tells you. It's just, are you passionate about it? Are you dedicated to this kind of thing? If you are, go for it. If you're not, then choose another career. What's your opinion on getting married while studying Islamic? Different for different people. I would say best not to. That's my own personal opinion. But maybe if you ask someone else, they might say it's best to, depending on where you live, your circumstances, and your age. What exactly the stance of Ahl Ahad Hadith and Hanafi fiqh? I hear Hanafis don't accept it. Yes, we do accept Ahad Hadith. Brother Jabbar, you need to study my Usul Hadith course. So here's the email there. It's free of charge. You can join 21 lessons, inshallah. And in there, I've explained about Ahad Hadith. A journey to Arabic fluency. Wa alaikum assalam. What speech is prohibited in a state of janaba? Words like alhamdulillah. No, it's just Quran. The only thing that's prohibited is reading Qur'an. So if you read ayats of the Qur'an, that is not allowed. But if you say anything which coincidentally comes in the Qur'an, then it's fine to say that. Like someone's name is Yasin, someone's name is Taha, someone's name is Dhul Qarnayn, someone's name is Muhammad, someone's name is Maryam. It's totally fine to say. I have long hair similar in length to yours. Do you tie your hair back, and how do you use oil? Yes, at the moment I've got it tied back because if I keep it all out, it just goes all over the place. I sometimes put oil on there, yeah, sometimes, not every day. I'm gonna keep it combed, try to keep it all together. Hair does fall out though. I don't know, does your hair fall out? Yeah, so it does fall out. When I have a shower or something, I'll have strands coming out. Can we speak during the English Bayan? Yes. Yeah, you can speak in the English Bayan. Is wearing the thobe as worn today part of the sunnah? So, Dark Mortar, when you say sunnah, do you mean, was it something that was encouraged by the Prophet ﷺ to all Muslim men to wear? Is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, then no. But if you're saying that it's worn by the Prophet ﷺ, then yes. How come during Taraweeh we pray witr with the Imam, but we don't usually? Because this is how the Sahaba did it. So it's from the days of the Sahaba. They did it, so we do it. Any ideas which mosque will be or has got the best qari? Mostly, Sufa is quite good. So Sufa is quite good, I would say, from my experience. And Isa bin Maryam, Masjid Isa bin Maryam is very good. They're quite long, but they're very good. Yeah, these are two I would definitely recommend. If an alim is strict on congregation, do you think he should contemplate on marrying a woman who does not wear niqab? If an alim is strict on congregation, I don't understand. On Jama'at, congregation, do you think he should contemplate on marrying a woman who does not wear? No idea what you mean there. Mass, do you offer tests and ijazas for completing your courses? Possibly, yeah. Possibly, if someone does a course and I'm happy with the level, I think I'd probably do an oral test or something, maybe. Thoroughly test them. Yes, my hair does fall out. It comes with long hair. What type of oil do I usually use? Something like beard oil. Strange enough, but beard oil is nice on the hair, or baby oil. Do a Sufa hold Taraweeh prayers? Yes, a Sufa's got very nice Taraweeh prayers. Strict on segregation. So I mean, I don't know why. Why do you want to make if a scholar is strict on segregation? Why do you want him to marry a woman with that does not wear niqab? I don't understand. Should he? You mean if he's strict on segregation, why would he? Why would he want to marry a woman? I don't understand how that. I'm sorry, I haven't got that. During the process of wear more of a long shalwar kameez rather than. No, in fact, he hardly wore this. He wore, the ihram clothing. That's what he wore most of the time. You can say literally, probably 80% of his life, he wore the ihram style clothing. Yeah, that's what he wore. Shalwar, he never wore the shalwar kameez. Shalwar kameez is something invented later on. But he wore different types of jubbas that came from Yemen, that came from Egypt, that came from Byzantine. Which is closer to the Sunnah, shalwar kameez or the Arab? So when you say Sunnah, my brother, are you saying is it something that was encouraged by the Prophet ﷺ for men to wear, or are you just saying what the Prophet ﷺ wore? The Prophet ﷺ wore the ihram clothing most of the time. You know what the ihram clothing is? People are shocked when they hear this. There is no authentic narration that he wore trousers, by the way. Yeah, so trousers in that case, trousers. He never wore trousers. Yeah, he wore the ihram. You know when when you go for Hajj and you wear the ihram, he wore that style clothing most of the time. How religious should the person you marry be? Religious as you want. Basically, the person should be sort of like suited for your level. Is it 8 or 20? It's 8 times 20. 20. Peace, by peace. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Did the Prophet ﷺ have long hair for most of his life? We don't know. We don't know how long he had his long hair for. But on many occasions he shaved his head off. Like lungi. Yes, lungi, that's it. What did the men wear during war? How did they run? So if you've ever seen like Yemenis in war, check it out. Go onto YouTube and check out Yemenis fighting in war. You'll see them wearing the izar. Yeah. Just because we're not used to like people wearing it, we find it strange. But that was the norm in them days. Yeah, that's what they used to wear. So I'm playing in a football tournament. Make dua, my team wins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you success. May Allah give you success. Ameen. Hamza Jundi, mashallah, my brother Hamza Jundi. What's happening, bro? What's the latest? See, you're here, but there's no stories of you know what. When praying Salah, is it true that in 2 rakats you have to read 2 consecutive surahs? And if not, you have to miss out 2 surahs. You can't miss one. So Hanafis say it's better not to miss a surah if in the last, in the last part of the Quran, last 15 or 14, I don't know, 15 or 16 surahs. You should not miss one, like read one, miss one out. But it's not sinful if you do that. The only reason they say that is because so this isn't for the imam. That the imam, if he does this, people might think, why is the imam missing this surah out for? Yeah, it's that one of those ones. What is the reward for dreaming of the Prophet ﷺ? There's no specific reward for it. It's just a good thing. I mean, it's just like a good thing Muslims look forward to. Salam. So hope you're well. What's your advice on marrying while studying alim class? Don't. Unless you're quite old and you can't control your desires, then get married. Allah says, and we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand. No, He has not said we have made it easy to understand. Right? This is a wrong translation. Yeah, this is a wrong translation. Yeah, so please do not translate the Quran like this. The Quran says, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. We've made the Quran easy for remembrance. Is there anyone that's going to remember? Is there anyone that's going to ponder over the Quran? Like the Quran is not like a physics book or a chemistry book that's hard to be able to kind of contemplate on. You're a man, you're a woman, you're old, you're young. If someone tells you the meaning of Surah Fatiha, it's easy to understand the meaning of Surah Fatiha. Like you can go out, you can think about it, and it can stay in your mind, all day. That's what it means. So it does not mean it's easy to understand. This is a wrong translation. Number two, if the Quran has been made easy to remember, why do people still struggle to memorize? So to remember doesn't mean memorize. It does not say memorize again. This is a wrong translation. What's the Hanafi madhab stance on democracy or voting? There is nothing in the Hanafi madhab about democracy or voting. It's got nothing to do with Hanafi madhab on this. Assalamu alaikum. You looking forward to Ramadan? Yes, my brother. I'm looking forward to Ramadan. All right, guys, hit the like button. If you have not hit the like button, then hit the like button now. Inayat, what is the cure for those brothers and sisters who have a pornography addiction? There's actually a good organization. Contact them, and they will be able to help. If you know someone who's suffering from, this addiction to pornography, we had a brother on once. I think it was called Pure Gazes. I think it's called Pure Gazes or something like that. Check them out, and they actually do. I think you pay them or something, or this free thing where you can have. They'll help you. They'll like mentor you into stopping it. What's your opinion on comments on lucid dreaming? I don't know. If someone embraces Islam, there's nothing in Islam about lucid dreaming, so that's why I don't want to comment on something which I don't have training in. If someone embraces Islam, is there a grace period for them to leave major sins? Let's say, brand. Inshallah, why not? Allah is the Ghafoor Rahim Kareem. Jazakallah khair for the advice. Can you elaborate on why one should get married while studying? I said to you, brother Zahid, I said if you got too much shahwat, you can't control yourself, then get married. Involved in a haram sexual relationship, would Allah expect the revert to? The person should be told that this is haram. If a person accepts Islam, they need to be told. If they're involved in drinking or something like that, they need to be told this is wrong in Islam, right? And then leave it up to them to make an effort to stop doing it. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Any advice for the Huffaz going to lead? I have no idea because I am not a Hafiz. So it's best to ask Huffaz. Yeah, so Huffaz, you got any advice for Damyo? I'm going to be praying behind. I'll be listening. Please make dua for me. May Allah make it easy for you. MashaAllah, you're a Hafiz. May Allah bless your hifz, give you barakah. If someone embraces Islam, is there... I'll answer that one. Okay. Do you have any good tips for memorizing Qur'an? No, I don't, because I have not memorized the Qur'an. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. If anyone has any tips on memorizing the Qur'an, please help Brother Inayat. Okay. Salams, is it permissible to have feet? Than this one. What kind of vaginal discharge invalidates wudu? So if any kids are listening, then please close your ears. So basically, according to, there's a difference of opinion of the scholars about if vaginal discharge breaks wudu. If the vaginal discharge is urine, if it is something that comes out from the cervix, it breaks your wudu. If it does not come out the cervix, if it's just due to ovulation, excessive, and according to one opinion in the Hanafi school, which is attributed to Abu Hanifa, it does not break your wudu. And according to the Sahibain, it does break your wudu. Right. And I would say if a woman suffers from it a lot, then she should take the first opinion, it doesn't break wudu. And if it just comes out now and again, then she should, just to be on the safe side, repeat the wudu. Okay, right, next. Stay consistent, brother Inayat. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And also your revision is more important. Definitely sounds good. Halim, alaikum assalam, brother Halim. Aqib, you'll be fine after you get through the first rakat. You'll be nervous. Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a good one there. Good advice. If we eat from a shop that is Muslim owned, should we be cautious and ask them if the meat is stunned, or should we just accept it as halal because they're Muslim? If you want to be careful about the stunning, ask them about it. I would say ask them if they're saying it's halal. Don't question them about that. Just say to them, "Is your meat stunned or non-stunned?" Yeah, you should ask. If you're kind of comfortable with them, if you think they're okay. Da'wah advice: do not give da'wah if you haven't studied properly. That's my advice. Yeah, a lot of people just think da'wah is a free thing. Every Muslim has the right to give da'wah. You don't have the right to give da'wah. You harming someone's faith is worse, because if you're telling people things and you're being too harsh or you're saying it wrong, you can actually take them away from Islam. So my advice would be, guys, just because people now on social media can just give people da'wah, or they think they can give da'wah, right? Just don't do that, because you might be misrepresenting Islam. You might be saying things you don't even realize, getting yourself into trouble. And the Prophet ﷺ said, a person may say something he does not have any consideration for, and it takes him into the pits of Jahannam. So be careful with da'wah, guys and girls. I know there are on average 3 to 4 forms of most Arabic letters, but how many different forms of Hamza are there? How many different forms of Hamza? I don't understand. Hamza. No, I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Arnaud, alaikum assalam. Sayyid Shaykh, alhamdulillah. Ahlan wa sahlan, Arnaud. How are you? How are things where you are in the world? Everything okay? Are you affected by the war or anything? Is istibra necessary before wudu? Istibra meaning in the toilet, yeah? They're talking about istibra. So as long as you're comfortable that there's no more drops coming out, that's what istibra means. Isn't there a fatwa from Mufti Taqi that we are allowed to eat stunned meat? I have never come across it. If you can show me, then maybe I can read it. But yeah, there is a difference of opinion about stunned meat. Yeah, stunning. There's different types of stunning. That's why there's different grades of stunning, basically. What about calling Muslims to pray? Yes, that's good. So to call someone is fine. To remind someone, like to call them, tell them it's salat time, like an alarm clock. To be like an alarm clock for someone is fine. How can I deal with a Salafi literalist in my school who keeps talking to me about supporting literalist Aqidah? Study. Mash, what you need to do is study. Yeah, study, and then you'll know how to answer him. Assalamu alaikum, hey, regarding Qira'at Khalf al-Imam, do we still recite Thana on our own? Yes. Qira'at only refers to Qira'at of the Qur'an. Qira'at of the Qur'an. The Prophet ﷺ used to have kuhul container and used to apply kuhul 3 times to each eye. Is it permissible to use toothpaste while fasting? Yes, you can use toothpaste while fasting as long as you don't swallow any toothpaste. If you could meet a scholar in the past, which scholar would you have loved to meet? Umar radiallahu anhu. As Hussein, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaban, welcome. Better late than never. Oh no joke. Does the Hanafi madhab consider applying kuhul as sunnah or not? So, student, when you mean sunnah, do you mean that did the Prophet ﷺ encourage all men to wear it? Is that what you're saying? Or is it that something that Prophet ﷺ personally would use in his time, just like many other people, many other Muslims and non-Muslim would use it? The letter Hamza, like whether it sits on a ya or waw and alif, and again whether it's in the beginning, middle. Yeah, so I don't know how many forms there are, but there are a lot of forms. I don't know how many forms there are. Yeah, but it comes in the beginning. I can recognize all of them, but I can't say from the top of my head how many exactly there are and all the rules for them. No, this is to do with Imla, the science of Imla, the science of Arabic font writing. Do you know why I might be able to learn all the Hamza roots? Imla. So you have to read the books of Imla. I don't know if you know Arabic. So if you go online, if you go on YouTube and type in Arabic writing script, how to write Arabic script, you'll probably come across lots of videos people have made. Just a follow-up question on your answer regarding wipe impurity. Is that a general rule that impurities can be wiped by sterile? Yes. You can even do istinja. After you do istinja, you don't have to use water. You can use wipes to clean yourself. Patrick, wa alaikum assalam, my brother Patrick. Long time, my brother. Hope you're well, alhamdulillah. Should one read at-Tahiyat and Durud Ibrahimiya, or just at-Tahiyat before Salam or Sajda Sahu? So the Hanafis say Sajda Sahu should be done before you start Durud Ibrahimiya. Yeah, but if you carry on, then it's still fine. You can still do it. Sometimes I feel guilty about not doing da'wah to non-Muslims around me and feel that I will be held accountable on this event. Will we be held? No, you won't be. You won't be held accountable, inshallah. Yeah, for that. But what you will be held accountable for is misrepresenting Islam. Can you explain what barzakh is? Barzakh is the world after you die, before the day of judgment. Can you use eye drops, eye sharawat? Can you eye drops whilst fasting? Yes. According to Hanafis, you can. And you check out my fasting crash course. I'm doing a fasting crash course. You can check that out. And is there anything in regards to water going into eyes in valid fast? Not according to Hanafis, no. If you make an Amazon wish list, subscribers could buy the items list which are needed for the channel. Oh, wish list. Yeah, I like that one. Yes, that's a good idea. Excellent, excellent journey. I will do that. Let me just make a note of that. Let me make a note of that. Amazon wish list. Excellent. Jazakallah khair for that one. Can women wear kuhl on a daily basis? Yes, they can. Is working for banks in the IT sector allowed? It all depends exactly what job it is. So if it's something directly related to the interest itself, then no. If it's not, if it's just related to managing the systems, then it's possibly permissible. You really help me read the Qur'an. Ameen. Peace. May Allah bless you. Jazakallah khair for your kind words. If it's appropriate in your eyes, yes, it's appropriate in my eyes. Is it bad to have clothing that makes you look good or rich? No, it's not. Yeah. Also, is it bad for men to paint the area around their eyes black? What? Paint the areas around their eyes black? Why would they do that for? Can I help my family in Akhirah if I do Islamic studies? Inshallah, definitely. I was taught in Ikhtiyar that the Durud was to also be read before Salam for Sajda Sahu in Ikhtiyar. Yeah, let me have a check, unless I'm mistaken. I mean, this isn't in Hidayah or any of the major. So let me check. Check of Ikhtiyar. See. يسجد بعد السلام سجدتين ثم يتشهد. Just gonna check what Ikhtiyar says. سجود السهو يجب إذا زاد صلاة ولا يجب وإن تشهد القيام وإذا سهى المؤتم تذكر القول أقرب التشهد وإن كان القيام أقرب سهى قال لكم وإن قال الرابع يستقبل فإن كان يعرضه باب سجد السلامات سجد الضم عليه السادسة سهى المؤتم يقضي الإلزام يجب إزادة صلاته يأتي بالدعاء الثانية. أوكي. ثم قيل يسلم تسليمتين وقيل تسليمة واحدة وهو الأحسن ثم يكبر ويخر ساجدا ويسبح ثم يرفع رأسه ويفعل ذلك ثانيا ثم يتشهد ويأتي بالدعاء لأن موضع الدعاء آخر الصلاة. أنه صلى الله عليه وسلم سجد سجدتين سهوا بعد السلام. I can't seem to find where he says, unless you can quote the text to me. I can't seem to find it in Ikhtiyar, sorry. Yeah, I can't seem to find it in Ikhtiyar. Like I've got Ikhtiyar open in front of me. Yeah, I mean, the other books, I haven't really come across anyone that's really said Salam, unless, let me have a check of Radd al-Muhtar. Radd al-Muhtar usually has. Yeah, because I've covered Sajda Sahwi in my Hidayah lessons, so you can get access to my Hidayah lessons. Send an email in and give you access to those. بعد السلام أريد أن لا يسجد بعد السلام ناسيا ويسجد للسهو ولو مع القطع يسلم وصلي الظهر وهو غلط عقيدة والصواب لا يبطل وضوءه فرضه شذه شفعة صح فيصح. Okay, I'm gonna have to check this later. It's gonna take too much time. Right, so but yeah, I can't find it in ikhtiyar. So I don't know, maybe he was quoting another book, or maybe I don't know, maybe I haven't looked properly. Okay, where's Rona? Rona's not here today. Rona Hakim. What would I do if I start reciting the Durud in first tashahhud of Zuhr Salat? Then you should do Sajda Sahwa at the end. Is it possible that you will get more reward for helping people learn the Quran over your videos? Inshallah, that's what I hope. Is it okay to be a vigilante crime fighter? No, not allowed. Mufti Sahib, do you think it's a good idea to go Umrah during the last 10 days of Ramadan if you miss 3 days of the last 10 days because of travel? Yes, it's good. You can go, inshallah. Lots of reward. Is it okay to do fard actions of wudu only on a regular basis? No, you shouldn't do on a regular basis unless you have a valid reason. The Sheikh read it from Ikhtiyar and we asked him, does the Maliki madhab state that? I have no idea what the Maliki madhab says, so you best ask a Maliki. What is the Hanafi ruling on praying with short sleeves permissible? Bro, students just has loads of questions. Rona, student might be Rona, you know. Who knows? We haven't seen student and Rona together yet. The language seems quite similar as well. Assalamu alaikum, Sharif, ahlan wa sahlan. Is this verse just referring to Yahudi or human condition in general? Oh, I don't know what verse that is. 295. Let's see. 295. Okay, so Surah 2, verse 95, yeah? Check out my my Surah Baqarah series. Yeah, I've mentioned it in Surah Baqarah series. Yeah, it's talking about the Yahud, yeah. Al-Kitab. Talking about them. So if you go to my Surah Baqarah Sharif, I've actually covered it over there as well. In which situation can one walk past a person who is praying as long as there is something in front of them or there is a sufficient number of rows empty? Perhaps it was from a shar. I will try to figure out where he is. You're welcome. Zainab, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. Pray you are well. I'm hoping to do advanced fiqh iftar study within the next few years. I'm going for Umrah and inshallah I hope to buy books. Which ones would you recommend apart from the obvious ones? I would say generally in iftar, Radd al-Muhtar, basically in iftar, you are going to need about 15 fiqh books, starting from al-Asl, Jami al-Saghir, مختصر الطحاوي, مختصر الكرخي, the Sharh of مختصر الكرخي by Quduri, obviously Quduri, the Jawhrat al-Nayyara, al-Lubab, Mabsut Sarakhsi. So there's a lot of these books that you're going to need because the main thing is training you up into. And besides this, I would suggest also getting things like Al-Madkhal by Dr. Salah Abul Hajj, Madhab al-Hanafi by Dr. Naqib, 2 volumes, Takween Madhab Takween Madhab al-Hanafi by Said Baktash, and also Usul Ifta by Mufti Taqi Usmani, Uqud Rasul Mufti, obviously you're going to get that. Ghamz al-Uyun, commentary of Ashbah al-Nadha'ir. What else? Yeah, these are some of the ones that just come into my head. You know, if you ask me, I've got loads of books in my head because I have my own understanding of how iftar should be done. But it all depends where you're going to do iftar. Yeah, it all depends. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Is it haram to look up to superheroes like Batman? I mean, if you honor them and respect them, that's haram. But if you don't honor them and respect them, but you just are fans of them, then it wouldn't necessarily be haram. No one is not here, so I don't have any questions. Student is here though. We got student by. Rona might come in soon. Who knows? Are non-Muslims allowed in masjids? Yes. Is working for banks allowed? So I think I answered your question earlier on, Siraj. It all depends upon what kind of job it is. Do you have any advice for dealing with procrastination and getting a good work ethic? Yeah. Wake up early in the morning. Don't go to sleep after Fajr. Have a cold shower every morning. and do some exercise in the morning and plan your day. Have a plan of what you're going to do in the day. Yeah, that's what I do basically. So how much sleep would you say you need daily? I personally need about 7 hours sleep. Yeah, I need about 7 hours sleep. Otherwise, I can't function properly, or it catches up to me after a few days. Anas, walaikum assalam. If there is a large company with 10, 12 Muslims and they pray Jum'ah behind closed doors without idhn and around 5 miles from a mosque, is such a Jum'ah valid? Possibly. It depends. Would it be difficult for them to be able to go for the Jum'ah or not? Is it okay to leave the Qur'an playing in the house if no one is actually? Yes, you can do that. Jazakallah khair. You're welcome, Zainab. Sheikh, make dua for us in your Umrah. Sheikh, what do you mean by honoring and respecting the superheroes? What's the difference between that and being a fan? So being a fan is liking them. Like being a fan is like footballers, sports personalities. You like them a lot, and one is being like honoring them in the sense that you have like high respect for them, like you would have for the Prophet Sallam or for the Sahaba. Then that would be wrong. Yeah. So that is absolutely wrong. But just to be like passionate about how they play and what they've achieved, that's okay. Doesn't exercise in the morning tire you out later on the day? No, it doesn't. Actually, makes you much more alert. Is it permissible for women to recite Quran in front of men or online where men might listen? Is it permissible for women to recite Quran in front of men or online where men might listen? If they are reciting it to men, then I would say no, they shouldn't recite it to men. No, it shouldn't be recited. If they are reciting it because of some sort of competition or something like that, then there may be scope for that. But just reciting it just for men, or there's men in the audience, no. If they're reciting it and men happen to listen in, then they wouldn't be wrong. Right. Next. Okay, let's check out some curious cat questions then. Salam alaikum. Randomly here. Ahlan wa sahlan randomly, my brother from India. Wouldn't be able to make it to the live stream, being sleepy already. I want to ask a question that my teenage cousin asked me to ask a scholar, as he doesn't have access to any scholar. I already tried explaining the answer to my best ability and he wasn't satisfied. I request you to please address this in your live stream. Question: why there's no equality in the world, especially in terms of money? Why some spend his life in luxury and someone else die trying making ends meet? Okay, this is a good question. This is to do basically with the design of human beings, right? So when it comes to the design of human beings are designed differently. So if you have, for example, like a thousand iPhones, all the iPhones are going to work the same. There is no difference. There's equality in them. The problem is when you have equality in every single thing, you don't have any creativity. You don't have anything that's going to be produced. With human beings, because human beings have been designed with desires, and human beings have been designed with different strengths and different parts of the world they live in and different sort of families they're brought up in, they have different sort of like aspirations, and they have different passions, and they have different drives. All of these things mean that all humans will not be the same. Yeah, some humans will excel in what they're doing. Some humans, unfortunately, will get involved in wars and will die. Some humans will get involved in like crimes. So humans are different. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says this as well. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً. We made each of you tribulations for each other, trials for each other. أَتَصْبِرُونَ. And this is how Allah has created us. He's created us with this ability that we can sort of like, we're like, imagine like AIs. So if you have AI computers that can self-learn and they can advance, each AI would be able to advance different from each other. So this is why there is all this difference. And obviously, Allah puts restrictions on people, tells them you can't be ostentatious, you can't spend in things in haram, you can't harm people, puts limits on them, right? Because you don't need to have a limit on an iPhone. iPhone doesn't even go beyond the limit, but humans will. So hope that makes sense. Okay. Salams, if a pregnant woman was to do a perennial massage on herself, massage the skin between the vagina and the anus in the later stages of pregnancy in order to reduce damage to that area of childbirth, would it necessitate ghusl? No, it wouldn't. No. Okay. Salam. Can a woman recite Quran in front of a male? I think Ayan asked that one. Right. Okay, so remember, if you haven't hit the like button, guys, make sure you hit the like button. Check out my videos, spread them to other people, subscribe. Remember, all the videos I put on my YouTube channel for you guys are free of charge. So spread them to other people. You get the reward, I get the reward. People will benefit, inshallah, as well. Yeah, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. Does removing or plucking the monobrow hairs come under impermissibility? No, it's permissible. Monobrow in the middle, there, you can remove it. Is it necessary to mention the name of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in every gathering conversation? No, it's not necessary. Flowing from the exercise questions, what is going to be the best practice for a healthy Ramadan? I don't know, let Ramadan start, NS, and then what do you do in Ramadan normally? Are there specific courses for da'wah? Check out Iera. Is it Iera? IERA. Type in IERA in Google, and they've got courses you can do online. With this the NHS pension scheme okay to benefit from? Yes. If not, what can be done? Yes, you can benefit from that. What's the best way to propose to someone? Oftentimes the girl might be freaked out. I have no idea. Anyone know what's the best way to propose to a girl? What's the level of communication the future spouses can have before marriage? So as long as they're chaperoned, as long as there's someone else from the family involved in the conversations, I would say there wouldn't be anything problem in them talking. Is it true that Ibn Humam said that the 8 rakat Tarawih are mu'akkada sunnah and the remaining 12 is non-mu'akkada? Yes, that's a report from him. At what sort of age should a male ustad stop teaching girls Qur'an in your own experience? I would say about the age of 11, 12. At 11, 12. I can't decide whether to take advanced tafsir or advanced fiqh route. Tafsir feels more beneficial, spiritual for me, but fiqh seems more aligned with skills, ability to help others. I would say this, Zainab, it all depends upon how much fiqh you have learned and how good you are at fiqh. If you are like a fiqh-minded person, you like breaking down arguments, you like looking at problem solving, like really kind of like, jigsaw puzzle solver person you are, then do fiqh. Fiqh would be good. But before you go into iftar, you need to have studied a great amount of fiqh because you're going to struggle a lot in answering questions if you don't know where to find them. That's from my experience. But tafsir would be very good. If you can do tafsir, and I would suggest, someone like, if you contact Saeed, Sheikh Maulana Saeed, Suhaib Saeed. He's on social media on Twitter. And he has a course that you can join. I think it's free of charge. He's editing the translation of Tafsir Ibn Juzay, and it's very useful, very beneficial. It helps you get into the nitty gritty of tafsir and translation. Yeah. So I would say you look into what you're interested in. Tafsir is very good as well, and I think there's a lot of, especially women. There's not that many women in tafsir at the moment, especially in the Western world. Traditional tafsir scholars. So tafsir would be very good if you can get into that. Being poor isn't necessarily a bad thing, and being rich isn't necessarily a good thing. Different trials, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one there. I like that one. That's a good point. I'll put that up. My friend gave me a software CD 15 years ago, which I want to bin, and I can't remember if it was intended as a gift or not. Can I assume his answer based on what he's given previously? Yes, you can do that. With this up, do you have any recommendations for places to do Alim Iftar courses? As-Sufa Institute. Yeah, because I teach there. Is it permissible for a male qari? And there's going to be an iftar course starting in Leicester. It's called the Iftar Mu'adh ibn Jabal course. That's going to be very good. Is it permissible for a male qari to judge a Quran competition without screen where teenage girls are reciting? Yes, I would say it'd be permissible, as long as there's obviously correct segregation and all that. How would I do masa on a bandage or cast? So a bandage, if you have a bandage over your arm like this, all you have to do is just, or more than 50% of it, as long as you wipe more than 50% of it with a wet hand, just wipe over it. And if it's going to damage it, then you don't have to have it wet. You can just slightly wet it. MP wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. I have heard from scholars that the reason why the female Alimiya course is so diluted is because the elderly scholars wanted them to just have enough basic intermediate knowledge to raise family. Have you heard this? Yeah, I've heard this as well. Yeah, I've heard this, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, why would they have to do this is the like the oxymoron, or the kind of like problem, which is, if you're doing an Alimiya course and you don't then you don't need them to have enough, what's the point of doing Alimiya course then? Just don't call it Alimiya course, just do an Arabic course, go through the entire Qur'an and basic masail. That's it. You just need to have that. You can do it in 3 years. So this is why I think it's just, why are you calling it Alimiya course? That's the problem I have. What do you think is the best age to get married? Whenever you're ready. Yeah, whenever you're ready. Also, Salam. Can you give us a one-liner on the relationship between hadith and fiqh? Hadith is like the soil, and fiqh is like the plant that comes out the soil. That's it. Yeah. So just like the plant needs the soil, yeah, and without the soil, the plant can't grow. Yeah. Is there any mention of PTSD in the Quran, Sunnah, Islamic literature? You mean so like post-traumatic syndrome or something of that sort? Of course there is. There would have definitely been Sahaba who were affected mentally by problems they saw, fighting they saw, and yeah, definitely. And likewise, Khalid bin Walid, definitely. But societies dealt with PTSD in different ways throughout history. There were different things out there, lifestyles. A lot of lifestyles in the past helped people to cope with it easier. Yeah, the way communities were close knit, the way people were eating healthy organic food, the way that society wasn't as sort of like complex as it is nowadays. Yeah, social media and all these kind of things as well. Jazakallah khair. I've just joined Dr. Saif's course now. Need to get started, inshallah. Got lots of catch up to, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. متعلم وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا. Sultan Jamal وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. Isn't forgiveness for someone means the person gets it easy and free from justice and their judgment? Isn't forgiveness for someone? I don't understand. No idea what you're saying there, bro. Sounds like a half in the middle, halfway question. Right. Okay, guys, I think all my questions have been answered. Yeah, Allah. Right. So, Allahu Akbar wa lillahi alhamd. Heart plaster. Is cheating in exam a kabira, or does that not only apply to cheating in money? So the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever cheats us is not from us. Now, if you clearly know the rules of the exam and you're lying and cheating, this is clearly something which is not the style of a Muslim, and this would depend on what kind of cheating is done. So it could differ from it being a kabira, saghira. Do any Islamic weekend courses? Yes, we actually are going to have a course. In fact, next week I'm going to be doing the course in a Sufa, so you guys can come down. It's going to be 4-hour course, 2 hours on fasting and 2 hours on zakat. Yeah, I'm going to be doing it next week, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for your answers. You're welcome. Hey, has book review been done yet today? Not yet. I'm just thinking. Well, actually, I got a book. I'll do a book review today. Dunya can be extremely difficult. Exactly. Is it true that a naked black woman appeared in front of the rock idol of Uzza when Khalid bin Walid went back? I have no idea. Never heard that before. Book review. Okay. I'll do a book review, guys. So, I got this book this week, guys. This is The Height of the Prophet Adam alayhi salam. This is written by Mufti Muntasir al-Zaman. Mufti Muntasir al-Zaman is a well-known scholar in America. He's a traditional scholar, studied in the Dars al-Nidami Madaris. So I'll just read at the back the sort of like summary that's been written there. Okay. So he says the height of the Prophet Adam alayhi salam at the crossroads of science and scripture explores scholarly efforts to treat the conflict between hadith regarding Prophet Adam alayhi salam's height and extant empirical data. What may appear as a straightforward hadith about the father of humankind brings to the fore a web of interconnected disciplines: epistemology, science, archaeology, the status of the Sahihain, the evolution of hadith analysis, and the Israeliyat. This study hopes to contribute to two broader conversations: the conflict between science of hadith and crisis of faith for many Muslims today. Number two, the notion that scholars of Islam's rich intellectual history were oblivious to the issues plaguing the minds of modern Muslims. Then some people have mentioned some feedback. In this highly learned, wide-ranging, and meticulously researched study, Muntasir Zaman brings the full weight of sophistication of the Islamic intellectual tradition to bear upon the empirical quandary that, as it turns out, is not an exclusively modern one. Though in an in-depth investigation of questions surrounding the height of our father Adam alayhi salam, Zaman provides a blueprint for resolving similar conundrums that Muslims may face in any age. Rooted in tradition and conversant with contemporary scholarship, the book skillfully models the application of a methodology that gives due right to revelation, naql, reason, aql, and the senses, hiss, judicially weighing and combining our knowledge from all three sources into a coherent and principled whole. Yeah, so this book is, I think it's a very important book that's been written with regards to a famous narration of the Prophet ﷺ that Adam alayhi salam was 60 cubits tall, which is about 90 foot tall. Yeah, 90 foot tall. So this hadith, what is the reality of this hadith? And he goes into a lot of discussion in this, about this hadith. And I think it's in English. I think you guys should get this book definitely. If you're interested in understanding complex discussions in the science of hadith and how the science of hadith is not just a black and white science, it is a science which that has to be investigated in many cases. A lot of discussion has to be done on certain matters, and this is something which I definitely am really interested in, because I was always looking into this matter. So here he gives an example. He got some illustrations here as well to show how Adam alayhi salam, how tall Adam alayhi salam is depicted as being 60 cubits tall. And hopefully, inshallah, once I have gone through this book, I'll give you some insights onto this book. Yeah, but he does give he gives a whole range of opinions. For example, here he lists a range of opinions of, these are the scholars in modern day. So modern day scholars in the last century. These are just some of the names of modern day scholars, as you can see. You can see over there. Modern day scholars there. These are their opinions about what the hadith refers to. Yeah. So you got Mufti Taqi Usmani's opinion, Sheikh Yunus Jaunpuri's opinion, Atiyah Saqar's opinion, Abu Shuhba, Abdurrahman Muallimi, Ubaidullah Sindi, and Anwar Shah Kashmiri's opinion. Yeah, so they got really kind of researched, very well researched. Yeah, inshallah, and I'll have a read of it, inshallah, and then I will let you guys know. This came, I actually received it yesterday, day before yesterday. No, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Friday, is it? Friday I received this. So this is why, inshallah, I'm gonna have a quick read of it, hopefully. How was your day? My day was very well. Thank you very much, my brother Sultan. How was your day? كيف كان يومك? Barakallah Feek Sharif. Yes, I agree. The 2-year courses that currently exist as Senator should be the norm, and the Alimiya course should be an advanced course only for people 100%. I totally agree with this. So please, madrasas out there, if you guys are doing this kind of thing, then please don't call it Alimiya course if you're not doing it properly. Can you summarize some of the points made in the book? Yeah, inshallah, once I start reading it, then I'll summarize, inshallah. It would produce higher quality. Definitely, 100% I agree. 100% I agree. And I think this is where, when we are living in the West and we expect there to be Like if you think about it, men and the women, it's like a balance in the scales. If the women are not getting the proper education, Islamic education, this is going to have a very big knock-on effect on the future 10 years time, 15, 20, 50 years time. What's going to happen with our scholars? Yeah, so I think this is something which we have to mashallah, mashallah, jazakallah khair, Damio. May Allah bless you for your kind donation. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you, brother. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, man. Yeah, so I think it's very important for madrasas. They need to be like thorough with the education. The men's side and the women's side should have the same equal education, I personally think, because it just seems very unfair, first of all. And then number two is, if those females are going to start to teach, what are they going to teach then? Like if you teach someone, if 10 females graduate from madrasa and they're not strong enough in their Arabic, they're not strong enough in fiqh, and they're not strong enough in hadith, when they become teachers, they are at 30%, let's say, of what they potentially could have been at. When they teach, if they're at 30%, what level is the students going to be? And then when they graduate and they're at 30%, what level are they? And that's what's going to happen is, over the years, it's going to diminish, right? And then, then it's going to be our fault. So I think there needs to be a solid education. Are you back to biking? Yes. Last week I went 35 miles. In fact, let me see if I can show you guys. Let's see if I can show you guys my cycling last week. Can I show you guys my cycling? Let's see if I can show you guys. You guys can see. Okay. Actually, I'll just show you my phone. I can't seem to. So basically, this is you guys. This is where I cycled, basically. If you guys can see that. It's a bit. Okay, let me see if I can. Can't seem to. Can't seem to find. That's the wrong one. Anyway, I will try to put it up onto my feed just to show you guys the kind of cycling route that I do. What would you say are the best Islamic institutions in the world? I have no idea. As-Sufa Institute. I mean, to say what the best is, I'll have to have gone there, checked them out, and I haven't really gone anywhere. So I don't like talking about places that I haven't thoroughly researched. Why is female Alimi course shorter than they miss bits out? Yeah, they miss quite a lot of bits out. Probably most female students, scholars, are not aware of this and think they've studied an advanced course and think they don't need to study more. Yeah, I think that's the responsibility of the madrasa, to be honest and transparent. Have you read Dr. Musharraf's translation of Quran yet? No, I haven't. I've heard about it, but I haven't. Do you have a short course on Nahu? I have something which is called the Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. Yeah, you can. It's £50 for the whole course. Yeah, and it's a very good way of getting access to this, to Nahu. So it's 17 Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. More details you can get there. Do you have any advice for unfortunate amongst us who've not learned to ride a bike, and in their youth years, if you're 20 and want to learn, asking for a friend? Yeah, go for it. Trust me. My advice would be just start. Don't be shy. You can learn it very quickly. In one day, you can learn. Seriously, just a few hours. You just need to know how to balance yourself on the bike. That's all it's about. There are some female madrasas that are totally solid, especially some in Pakistan. Some of the best students are from female students in Madrasa Aisha and Karachi. The truth is, some male Madrasa Alimi programs is poor too, just as some universities can. Yes, that's true. Definitely. 100%. Salam alaikum. You ever went to the museum and seen the skeleton of T-Rex and look at its feet? It's a really, really big chicken. That's at least impressions. Yeah, actually, it might be, might be like an ancestor of chickens. Sofa Institute, not being biased. That's it, bro. Exactly, you know what I'm saying? Is there a shar of Muwatta of Imam Muhammad you would recommend? Yes. So, Ta'liq al-Mumajjid is probably one of the best ones. Ta'liq al-Mumajjid. You can also use Awjuz al-Masalik as well. With Sheikh Zakaria Khan Delvis. You can use that, but it's not going to be in the same sort of like order and everything. Can you recommend any language institutes in the Arab world? I don't really know, but what you can do is if you look on my the Arabic podcast in the description, there's Sister Asma's email there. If you contact her, she'll be able to help you regarding Egypt. Yeah, regarding Egypt. World renowned As-Sufa Institute, the Azhar of the West, inshallah, one day. What is the healthiest nut? I don't know. What is the healthiest nut? You tell me. Is that a trick question? Yeah, Allah. All right, hit the like button, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, subscribe. Yeah. So what else? What else can I tell you guys? I don't know what else. Let me show you guys. What else do I have? I wanted to show you guys. Can't seem to. Oh yeah, did you guys find the link for this then? Yeah, the link for this. Did you guys order it? Anyone order it? And what do you guys think? Did you guys use it? I think it's really good. It's nice. It's very strong, sturdy. Works quite well. That is Alan, but I'm not sure. Well, I don't know what health is. All nuts have different benefits. So like Brazil nuts are good for protein, and you got some nuts that are good for like different aspects of your health. So can you paste the author of the book? Yeah, the author, actually, I'll show you a link where you can get this book from. The Height of Adam Muntasir Zaman. Beacon Books. Yeah, here it is. The Height of Adam. This is what I got it from. So can you paste it? What is the balagha behind not revealing the exact number of Ashab Kahf in the Quran? We don't know. The honest truth is we don't know. And sometimes like the Quran does not mention names deliberately because the point is not to know their names. It's just to know like the moral of the story, the purpose of the story. So like a lot of the people's names in the Quran are not mentioned for this benefit. Because otherwise, if you mention names, people are just fascinated about names and they forget everything else. And in fact, even in that story, Allah mentions in there, Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahfi wal raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba. Do you think the people of the cave were the strangest of all the signs of Allah. It's not like, why are you so amazed by the story for? You should be amazed by the sun, by the moon, by your heart beating, by your brain functioning. These are great signs of Allah. But it's just that kind of thing, isn't it? People are just like Dajjal and Mahdi. People are all crazy about it. Regarding the permissibility of hitting someone in the face, is it permissible to do boxing where the both fighters have? Yeah. So I would say professional boxing is not allowed because it's there to damage someone. They hit the face to damage them, hurt them. Brazil nuts. You're gonna be doing any online course in Ramadan? And I think I might be doing Quran. I might be going to Masjid Aqsa in the last 10 days. Right. So inshallah, Masjid Aqsa in the last 10 days. Hopefully be going there. Might do a bit of itikaf, a few days of itikaf as well. Enjoy that nice spiritual environment. Make dua that it gets done. And then maybe from there I can do some courses, some Quran from Masjid Aqsa live. Oh yeah. One that is not Majnun. Which brand wudu socks did you mention last time? The ones that I wear, in fact, the ones that I've got on now, actually, in the winter, I wear literally every day. I wear wudu socks for about 4 or 5 months. Yeah, so I've been wearing them since like last November. I wear these socks called, they're called, what's their name? Took the label off. They're called, let's see, wudu socks. They are called socks. Images, where's the images? Ones that I wear. If you just type in wudu socks, the ones that come up are all seem to be fine to wear. They're these seal skin ones, those are good as well. Yeah, you can get so many brands now. Wudu gear. Loads of people are into this market now. I can't remember the ones that. Okay, yeah, the ones that I had were called Dex Shell. Dex Shell. Yeah, the ones that I wear. Dex Shell. Wudu socks. Can't wait for Ramadan. What's up? Why don't madrasas teach students exorcism? Mizan, bro, you know what? You need to chill out, bro. Yeah, just relax. Take a deep breath. Take a cold shower, and relax. Boxing is very popular amongst youth. I don't think enough is being spoken about avoiding it. Yeah, I mean, professional boxing is bad, but otherwise, just like amateur boxing, beginners, just sparring, I don't see a problem with it. I used to do it myself. Are the wudu socks super soft? Yes, they're like literally like normal socks. They feel like normal socks, just a bit thicker. May Allah accept. I mean, seal-skinned ones are good as well. So with wudu socks, you just do wudu once, put them on, and then just wipe over them. Yep, that's it. Yeah, you just do that. In fact, all of these, let me just show you guys, just so that you guys can see the types of wudu socks out there. Yeah, these are all different types of wudu socks that you can use. And I think a lot of people think you have to wear leather. According to Hanafi, you don't just have to wear leather. You can wear these types of socks as well. Yeah, so these are basically the wudu socks. And these are all different types of wudu socks. Can you see these? Yeah, look at those. Very flexible. Yeah, all these different designs you got. No one will know they're wudu socks. In fact, that's the thing. Sometimes, like when I do wudu and someone like watches me and thinks, "Are you wiping over normal socks?" And I explain to them, "Right, guys, these are wudu socks. They're special socks. Yeah, they're not really wudu socks. They're actually mounting socks. Guys who go hiking, they usually wear them because sometimes they step in puddles and things and having soggy feet. is a problem. So these are like good for that. Yeah, so you can wear these. Right. Are they leather or normal material? But amateur boxing, you still can't hit their face, can you? Yeah, because in amateur, like when I say amateur, I mean as in it's not like designed to cause damage. They sometimes have padding on their face or things like that. So it's just like you spar with each other. You obviously go for each other, but you're blocking because you're blocking. You're not really going to be hitting the face. You're really going to be blocking each other. But I'm sorry, would it be okay to wear them regularly when you go out and about and need to do wudu quickly? Yes. Like I said, I know in the year I probably wear them for 5 months in the year every single day, throughout the day for 12 hours a day. I'll wear them. Could you explain how the miqat works and does the ihram? So you need to check out my Kuduri course. I've explained it in there. I have explained this, my brother, in a lot of detail. Just check out crash course of Hajj crash course. Yeah, so Hajj crash course. I have explained it over there in a lot of detail. How is the comfort level in summer when traveling? You mean the socks? I don't really wear them in. I don't wear them in socks in summer. I wipe over my Primark. Should noodle idha be taught before kuduri? You can choose. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Or you do fikr muyassar. All right, guys, hit the like button, guys. If you haven't hit the like button, and thank you very much, guys, for watching. As you guys know, I really enjoy it when you guys come. It's like you guys are like my family, and we get to talk to each other, and we get to know about what's happening. And yes, I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. Inshallah, tomorrow, hopefully, I should put up the Quran series video, Surah Baqarah, and also I'll put up I'm gonna make the Manfluti one. Yesterday I didn't make the other one, so I have to make that as well, inshallah. So have a nice night, guys. Good night. Tara, Tara. You guys from America, you guys probably don't hear that, do you? Tara. Tara is like in a typical English, farewell greeting. Like you say bye bye. Tara. I don't know where it comes from. The Tara. But yeah, so Jazakumullah khair, guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. And be good. And you've only got a little bit of time left for Ramadan. So hopefully, inshallah, we'll see you guys then next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.